Hello and welcome to the Biz Talk Live Show. I am your host, Shantae Arati. We are so happy to have you all here. Come on in. We see you guys. We see you, ladies and gentlemen, joining us. Please hit the love button. Feel free to drop any comments. If you have questions and we don't get to them during the show, we always follow up after the show. Okay. So, and you're here, please share this out because there's other entrepreneurs and small business owners that need to hear the information that we're going to share, because we have 4 lovely, right, leading ladies here that have powerful stories to share, and it is going to help you, right? So these ladies are actually some of our phenomenal Success Summit speakers. If you don't know, myself and some other ladies are hosting our 2019 Success Summit. It's a virtual Success Summit, which we're so excited about. It's all across social media. And it is for the purpose of helping Black women entrepreneurs succeed in their business. So these ladies are bringing their expertise. And when I say they're bringing their expertise, that's exactly what they're bringing. These ladies are phenomenal. They're experts in their particular industries, and we're so happy to have them. So we want to talk to them about their excitement, right? Their participation in the summit. And we also want to talk to them about their own personal stories, right? Because that's where the power is. That's why we come on every week to share these powerful stories with you, so that you're inspired and empowered to pursue every dream that is in front of you, and so that you can be empowered to succeed in your businesses. So with that said, we're going to get right into it. Like I said, we have 4 ladies, and I am going to let them introduce themselves. So I am going to start with Cherita Weatherspoon. Hi, Cherita.
Hi, I'm excited to be here. I'm Dr. Cherita Weatherspoon, the CEO of Powerhouse Coaching, where I help women launch businesses as coaches, consultants, speakers, and authors in 90 days, 6-figure businesses in 90 days, so they can have the income, impact, and independence they desire without the overwhelm and overworking.
I love it. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tracey George.
Hi, everyone, and thank you for the invitation. My name is Apostle Tracey George. I am a leadership trainer, and I train leaders to walk away from mediocrity and walk in full success, both mentally, spiritually, and financially. And that's what we do.
I love it. I love it. Okay, we have Keysha Bass. Hi.
Hey,
welcome.
girl, hey. Hey, thanks so much for having me. My name is Keysha Bass, and I am a digital marketing strategist, entrepreneur, wife, and a mom. Okay. And I love to help entrepreneurs leverage the power of video in order to 3x their influence and automate their income. So I'm super excited about being here. Thanks so much for having me on, Shantae. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. Okay, so let's get right into it, ladies. So let's start with just talking about the Success Summit. I just told people, all the audience, about it, but we also want to hear your perspective because, as you know, we went through like an extensive vetting process, and we have a network of over 25,000 women. And when I say we, myself and our network leaders are really advocates for women in entrepreneurship, and we promote from within. We encourage collaboration and partnership, and helping entrepreneurs understand the power of having a network and strategically using that network. And so that's what we wanted to do, knowing that we have powerful Black women in our network, such as you ladies, and giving you a platform, right, within our network, so more ladies know about you and they can have access to the things that they need. Because oftentimes, especially Black women, often don't have the resources, the access that some of our counterparts may have, and we don't want that to be any limitation or any excuses for us not being successful in our lives and our businesses. So connecting everyone to what they need and connecting them to your expertise is something that we wanted to do. And I'm glad that we had the opportunity to do it. So I just want to hear your perspective on why, you answered the call. We're thankful that you answered the call. Why did you answer the call to be part of this summit? And why are you so excited about it?
Awesome.
We'll start with Cherita.
Okay. So I answered the call because I thought it was a great opportunity to help other women out who look like me. Black women promote 25,000 members. The power that exists in that group it's untapped, first of all. Yeah. It really is untapped. And I just thought it would be great to be able to have some influence and impact in a way and serve in a way without, people always having to pull out a credit card. Yes, they have to pay for the summit, but the investment for that is minuscule compared to what people are going to get from it. And I just thought it was another way to serve, and thought it was a great opportunity that I wanted to be a part of.
And well, we're thankful for that. Tracey?
I concur. Being able to participate in a group of women, the old adage, Black women can't work together. And it's a lie. And so this is an opportunity to showcase Black women of all walks of life, from all genres of work and careers, and being mothers and being spouses, or not having children, but yet being able to serve, and seeing all of that manifest with the support, the respect, and the camaraderie that you have, not only this huge circle, but you also have circles within circles where folks can do, as Cherita said, and find yourself and begin to see people who do some of the same things you do, and then be able to work with people who don't do what you do, but you collaborate to create something new and wonderful. I think it's a beautiful experience.
I love it. Keysha?
Yeah, I'm super honored to be on the summit. And one of the things that I would say as women, for us to really identify what's your superpower, right? Because if you think about it, I do video marketing. That's my big thing, right? Video is my jam. I love it. And because I do that, and because I'm talking about that, and because I tell people that's what I specialize in, it made it probably easy for them to really identify, like, okay, we want someone to really come and talk about video marketing. Who's the voice? Who's the voice of the Black woman as far as video marketing is concerned, right? It's Keysha. Yeah. Who else is gonna teach you about video marketing? So I think it's super important, women, to really, as Black women, to really own your superpower. You don't need to be everything to everybody. Like, that is so, you can't be everything to everybody, because you'll be nothing to nobody, right? So really own your lane and figure out what that is. So I was excited to be able to come in and really share my experience. I've been doing videos since 2008. I was a network marketer, and I was like, oh my God, I got to figure out how to grow this business. And so I navigated to video. And about a year ago, I decided to really start to teach people what I knew about video, because I know so much about it. And I was really honored to be. It's actually my first summit where I'm really focusing on video marketing. Okay, it's the first summit, and it's my first summit where I'm really focusing on that. I've been invited on summits to teach about making money online, but as far as video marketing is concerned, this is the first summit. So I'm super excited about, that being the inauguration of me really talking about my superpower, and it's with the Black Women Promote. So yeah.
Yes, and it's definitely your superpower. Okay. And one of the reasons we thought that it was so important, because you've heard me say before how important video marketing is for all of us in our businesses. I just think it is so, I don't even think it's optional at this point. I think it is so necessary for everyone to use video marketing as part of their strategy for growing their business. And while we're on this topic, I just thought about it and wanted to just get you ladies' opinions, because I know some of us have challenges with video going live, or maybe shy, and have insecurities around going live, or getting on video. And there's a lot of expertise, because I know coaches, consultants, trainers, and I keep hearing time and time again, like they won't get on video, or they struggling with like getting on video. And it's really something that we all have to, a challenge that we have to overcome. Okay. So can you talk about, just ladies, your experience with video marketing? If you've had any challenges, how have you been able to work through it? How are you leveraging video marketing for your business, if you are?
Starting with
Tracey?
me.
I can speak for myself. I got started going live on Periscope. And at first, even though I'm usually in front of an audience, it was always face to face. And so it was a experience, to say the least, to go live and be in front, because usually when I'm recorded, it's somebody else doing it, and I'm ministering or preaching or teaching, and so I'm not paying attention to the camera. But when you go live, you have more involvement in actually putting that together. And so at first it was a little daunting, to say the least. But as time went on, I found that I could kind of get away from thinking about the camera and all this kind of stuff. And being that I've always been shy, but when I talk about whatever I'm dealing with, there's no shyness there. But when it comes to cameras and stuff, I've always been more on the shy side. So it was just something I had to plow through, and realize that it was imperative that people hear what it was that I had to say, or what I had to talk about. And they couldn't hear that if they weren't with me face to face. So that meant, in order to share abroad or beyond my reach in the face to face market, I had to make the decision to go live. Also, on the side, I had a business coach who would constantly say, Apostle, we need you to go live. And every week I would come to class and she would say, Apostle, did you go live? And she said, just start off small, do a 5-10 minute video. But of course, I don't talk like that. So when I went live the first time, it ended up being about 30 minutes to an hour. And I said, I believe we got this.
Love it.
That's fantastic, Cherita.
So I think the whole issue with people doing video, whether it's live or recorded, is so much deeper than just, I'm afraid of the camera. And I can say that from my own experience, that for me, it was just an issue with being seen. I have had no challenges with showing up for other people. I had ministry background as well. I could get up and speak in front of groups of people, and that was easier because it's almost like you don't see the faces when it's a large group, right? But then getting in, like a Facebook Live, and you're seeing whether or not anybody actually shows up to watch the live. You're seeing whether or not people are commenting, and then what are they commenting, and all of that. It attaches itself to your confidence and your self-esteem in doing what you do. So I think sometimes people have to deal with some deeper issues there, so they can actually overcome those challenges and be able to use video marketing more effectively in their businesses. And I also think people sometimes forget that there's different ways to do it. Going live is a bit of a bigger deal than recording something in the security of your own home and then uploading it. So if you have to start off that way, start off that way. And if you have to use slides instead of showing your face, do that, and until you build up the confidence to then show your face, and then to go live. And maybe the first few times you go live, you don't go live by yourself. You go live with other people in the conversation with you until you get comfortable and build up the confidence level to do it. But in the times that we live in and the technology that's available, it absolutely has to be a part of your marketing strategy. There's no doubt about that if you want to grow your reach and impact.
Absolutely. Those were some great tips.
Yeah, totally.
Keysha?
And I would just piggyback off what Dave actually already said, but I'd also add definitely going into the confidence, Cherita. And really, I'm reading this book called Atomic Habits. And one of the questions that was asked that I would pose to you all is who is the type of person that can get the outcome that I want? Right? Who is the type of person that can get the outcome that I want? So when you look at the outcome that you want, which is to grow your business, because a business is designed to make money. So if a business is not making money, then there has got to be something that is malfunctioning wrong when it was designed to do that. And we have to look at our actions and say, okay, so what am I actually doing action wise, right? In order to grow this business. And even back from that, who am I actually being? So who am I being first and foremost? So what do I need to do based upon who I'm actually being? So if I'm saying that I want to be a six-figure income earner, then I have to embody that prior to the money showing up in my bank account. So if that requires me to actually do a video, if that requires me to show up on camera, then because of who I'm being, which is a six-figure income earner, I'm going to do that particular work. I may not be in love with the work, right? It's like even with sales calls, like I absolutely would rather just go and, go up to my son's school and like pass out cupcakes, you know what I'm saying? Or something else. Like I would rather be doing something else. But when I understand that $1 million business is going to require what? Sales calls.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can outsource them and have somebody else do that. But if I'm doing that only because I really want to avoid the pain of actually doing the work to have $1 million business, I gotta come back to who am I being? So when I sit down at my computer, I'm saying, okay, who are you gonna be today? Are you gonna be the 7-year-old little girl that in school people talked about her glasses and stuff? And so now when you go live, now you're looking at how many people are commenting or how many people are liking and how many people are showing up. And you're basically now revolting back. You're resulting back to a 7-year-old's actions and how a 7-year-old, you know what I'm saying, would handle things. Or are you actually being, the woman that God called you to be and showing up in your powerful self, going live, hitting the button, recording it, slides, whatever you do, but showing up as your powerful self. That's
absolutely showing up as your powerful self. But that leads me to my next question. How important do you ladies think it is for women to be seen and be heard? Cherita?
Absolutely necessary. I wholeheartedly believe that women have the power to change the world. And I think, that it first begins in our homes with our family, but then the second place is in the marketplace. Which is why I think what BWP is doing is so important. But we have to force our way into conversations. Oftentimes we have to pull up our own chair to the table, or sometimes build our own table and invite other women to come and sit at the table with us, because we know the dominant sex they're not willing to give up their seat, to give up space to us. So we have to determine where our place is and that we're going to take it, and make sure that our voice is heard and make sure that we're seen, so that we can have the influence and impact that we as nurturers and creators and birthers can have. And I don't just mean in the physical, but spiritually and mentally and emotionally as well. I think women just have this innate power to create and to change and influence and impact and mold and build and grow. But sometimes we've got to force our way into the conversation to do so.
Absolutely. Tracey?
Oh, wow. Yes. I would add that we as women are natural birthers. And so what would happen if we took what God gave us as a gift, because there's always a spiritual component. So if we can birth naturally and our words have life, what could we birth spiritually when we come together? Any two of us coming together to create something amazing. I'm reminded of the story where Mary went to visit Elizabeth while both of them were pregnant. And while that occasion occurred, John the Baptist in Elizabeth's womb leaped. Something happens when you begin to talk and speak the right language, what I call kingdom language, because all of a sudden, not only does your baby begin to grow and thrive, but you cause other babies to grow and thrive. And so to be able to speak words of encouragement, empowerment, and upliftment can cause somebody else's baby to not only, because it's time out for us losing babies and opportunities and missed moments because you didn't have the motivation, you were frustrated, overly tired, or overly stressed out. So when you as a sister, as a friend, as a business partner, can speak life into other women, oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my.
And the church say amen, okay?
Yeah.
I was just, and it's funny because Apostle Tracey, I was thinking when Dr. Cherita was talking, I was thinking about we're the only ones that have a womb. Like, I mean, I'm like, and so if the womb can't speak, like, who got something to say? I mean, like, who has anything to say? Like, right. Really, when you think about the power of, of women, of, just who the divine feminine, I mean, just who we are. And sometimes we don't have to even say words. We can just walk in a room, and because the womb is in there, right? Because the birthing partner, you know what I'm saying? Because we're there, things automatically change just because of our presence in different places. There's businesses that have been successful, and I know that many of them successful are because there are women there. You know what I'm saying? Like there's women there. There's certainly some Black, intelligent, educated, powerful women, right, that are there. And so yeah, that's all I can say is just like, yeah, the womb has to speak.
So ladies, we are powerful. We need to be seen. Make yourself known. Show up. We need to be heard. There is power in your voice, right? There's power in you, just like Keysha just said. Just us showing up, and I know that to be true because often I'm in spaces where I am the only woman, or I'm the only Black woman in the room. So I'm of the mindset like Tracey is, let me create my table, right? And let me invite other women to the table. We all need to get in that mindset. And there is so much power in that. No more opportunities dying, right? No more
miscarriages.
It's time to stop begging folks to invite us to their table and create our own tables.
Absolutely.
And you know what I'm saying? And this is why I love Black Women Promote, because it's like that's what you all are doing. You know what I'm saying? Like we create our own summits, and we create our own summit. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to be, and I was I remember, and I won't say the name of this person, but this person's huge in the industry, and I remember they were hosting this conference, and every time I see a conference, I'm always looking at the speaker lineup because I want to see who is, who's on the speaker lineup, right? And I looked at the speaker lineup and I said, you mean to tell me in all this world, you couldn't find a Black woman to bring into this conference, right? You couldn't find one. The next year I saw he brought in some Black men. I said, well, hey, thank you. You know what I'm saying? But I thought and my friend, she told me, Keysha, stop waiting don't wait for them to invite you to come. Go create yourself. So that's where we are right now. Dr. Tyler Perry,
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned him because he serves as such a great example. And I don't know if anyone of you all haven't seen, I think it was the last BET Award speech that he gave was so powerful. I think I watched it 50 times. When he talked about creating his own table. And that's exactly what he did. He has his own studio, and it's not in Hollywood. Well, I'm sure people told him he would be making a big mistake, not going to Hollywood. And he did his own thing. So follow, you have a purpose. You were given a gift. God gave you a vision. It doesn't matter what other people think and say. If he gave you the vision, that is what you're supposed to go with, and not let other people distract you or deter you from doing what you know you were called to do.
Mm-hmm.
So ladies, it's definitely time to show up. So now I want to just go into, Tracey, your topic is the balancing act. Like, I love every time I see your, I love all of you every time you go live. And if you all haven't seen these ladies go live, if you're not a member of Black Women Promote, you can see a lot of their lives on our public event page, the Success Summit event that is taking place on October 21st through the 24th. You can go to @BWP Success and see all of their educational content where we're talking about how to overcome challenges, right? How to overcome insecurity, how to show up. These are important things that we need to address, right? And overcome to really be successful in life and in business. So let's talk about the balancing act, Tracey. And let's start with just talking about your topic, because I think it's so important when you talk from a perspective of us being leaders, because that's what we are, and the overwhelm that we all have sometime experienced in our lives, and that we need to find balance. Right. So let me start with you and let us talk about your topic and why it's important.
Well, the word balance means a steady position before you fall. And there's a tendency, many of us know what it's like to fall, get back up, fall while holding children on a hip, while trying to balance this and balance that. You got a hat rack full of hats, because quitting is not an option. And so all of a sudden, as you're moving on, I can speak for myself. I was taking my children to my home, my birth state, which is Florida, and I was taking them on a road trip. And I got to the point that my eyes began to burn. I literally was at the point of wanting to turn back around, but I made a decision to take them. And when I promised them something, I want to follow through. I literally had to ask God for direction. And once we got to Florida, I slept in for 2 days straight. I told the kids, give me 2 days. Let me figure this out, get my strength back, and then the rest of the time is yours. What God did at that point is tell me, you were burnt out. A lot of times we work frustrated, we work overstressed. Many have work jobs they don't even like, but they would go to the job, put up with the anguish and the frustration just because I got things I need to do. And then God gives you an idea. You want to be obedient to his voice and you start working the idea. You await working long hours with little pay. Folks promise you stuff, they don't deliver. So some of us had to create the table, being frustrated about the tables that were created, and then they were lies in the end. So you have to learn some things. So God said, I want you to write your story and begin to tell the leaders. So when the door opened for me to work with Black Women Promote with my sisters, one of the things I watched my mother do it by inviting people to the home and turn around and make dinner and be the last one eating. And so the Lord had to tell me, just because you created the perimeter for others to come to does not mean you have to be the last one getting a meal, because usually the last person doesn't get very much. They get what's left over if somebody thought enough of them. So you sometimes have to make your plate first and put it to the side. You have to learn what those avenues look like and begin to fine tune. I call it the voice of balance. Find out what your voice of balance is and work that balance. So there'll be times when you have to tell people no, and you sometimes have to tell them, I'll do it, but not yet. They're just things that you begin to do, and that will keep you grounded, keep you focused, keep you centered, so that you don't lose your head and get out of character and begin to do things, because again, quitting is not an option. So the balancing act, I tell folks, finesse the tightrope. Don't just walk it, finesse it. When you begin to learn how to walk, folks looking, how did you do that? It's like Simone Biles. You get so good that you have to name positions that you're making. You get to the place, and I don't want to preach it, but I feel it. You get to the place where they don't know what to call it. They don't know, it's like Keysha said about the video stuff. I gotta show up because ain't too many people doing what I do. So when you finesse it, you get to the point that you find out what the thumbprint is. And that's that balance. That's when you make stuff look easy, but you worked hard, you blood, sweat, and tears, and now you can flow because you're in your lane.
Mm. Hallelujah. Okay.
Well, preach it like you feel it.
Okay, that is so good. So ladies, wow. Just wow. So all of you all are successful. So can you, sometimes when people are looking in and they're like, okay, they have it all together. They haven't experienced these challenges. They don't know what it's like. How do you find balance in doing everything that you do? Not only your business, but we're, as women, we do a lot, right? We're spouses, we have children, we're running multiple businesses and ventures, right? We're taking care of sometimes family members, parents, grandparents, siblings, nieces and nephews. I mean, this is just real. So ladies, for us, how are you finding balance in your lives? And is this something that you're continually working on? Cherita?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely a process because most women have this nature that lends to taking care of everybody else and putting everyone else's needs and desires and goals first. For me, I had a major shift in 2016 when I actually started my business. And I moved from this stage where I was the be all for everybody. I was the calendar keeper. I was the bank. Like, I had to know what was in every account at a moment's notice is whenever somebody asked. I was the chauffeur. I was the chaperone. I was the cook. I was the cleaner. Just all of these things. But I had very capable people in my house and then around me outside of my house. So I had to learn to empower them. Okay. And that meant that I was delegating more. It meant that I was saying no a lot more. It meant that, I had to hold other people for being accountable for what their priorities were, because their priorities, while important to me, weren't necessarily my priorities. And if you're not willing to do what it takes to make this happen for yourself, it does not automatically shift to me. I'm willing to support you. And at certain times, I'm willing to take a back seat so that we can push you forward. But this thing has to be reciprocal. And this isn't just, for spouses and children. This is for friends and family and, organizations that you serve with and, other people who, you're constantly cheerleading for. When are they cheerleading for you? When are they supporting you? So it just, I had to shift some things. And I think, after building up some resentment towards people over that, I had to recognize that it wasn't really their fault. It was my fault because I allowed it to happen. And, people will only do what you will allow them to do. There's not necessarily any ill intent in that. So I just had to recognize that there needed to be some retraining in our relationships and how we interacted and dealt with things. And since then, I mean, it has been wonderful. I think one of the major benefits in my home is that, you know, I'm a much nicer person. You know, I'm much easier to be around because I don't have the stress that I had before. You know, I always joke my husband has always loved me, but now he likes me more. And I would say life is easy, but it's much more manageable now that I have empowered those who are able to take care of themselves to do just that, to take care of themselves. And I support when I need to support and step in when I do. But I don't take the lead on everything like I used to.
That's good. That's good.
I would just echo that. Like, it's all about priorities, you know, like what are the priorities and really understanding what those are and sticking to them. You know, I remember when I was actually working a job and there was a young lady there and she wanted me to go and try out True Bar or like some kind of exercise thing, right? And she was super excited about, like, you know, after work, you know, let's go over to True Bar, and it was amazing and everything. And I tell her no, you know, I told her no, and she was still just like, hey, you know, like, let's go. And I said, listen, my priorities are to my family first. So if I go to True Bar after work, then my son is at daycare, you know, and so those are my high priorities, not True Bar. And I think for many of us, we have to really identify who do I want to, you know, what are my priorities? What is it that I really want to do? And then some things we really have to let go. Like, I was born in the deep South, and I always say this. And so being a Southern woman, cleaning your house is like next to, like, you know, I don't know, it's like this Black women code. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Black women, you don't clean and cook. Like, what do you do? You know? And so then I began to learn about housekeeping. Well, in my mind, housekeeping was something that was super expensive that, you know, we just could not afford to get a housekeeper and stuff, although I needed the help. And my business was making great money. And I decided to just explore and see, like, well, how much is housekeeping, right? Because I'm really falling short on cleaning the toilets and stuff. And maybe there's someone that could do it in way less time instead of me spending my entire Saturday, right? The whole Saturday trying to clean up and not being able to spend time with my family and angry at everybody that's, you know, and I have boys. So it's like, yes, I will tell them to clean their bathroom, you guys, but I promise you, it's a boys cleanup job. At some point, somebody has to really go in there and, like, you know. So, but I started to research, you know, like housekeepers and stuff. And then my husband was like, you know, hey, if that will help you, you know, then let's go for it. And so I had to really, you know, tear down what I thought made me a woman. You know, a lot of times some of the stuff we do, we feel like, oh, well, you know, if I'm not running around like a chicken with my head cut off, then I'm not really being the you know, a great wife, or I'm not really. And when you really boil down to it, like Dr. Cherita said, like, if you get some of that stuff off your plate, then there's some other things probably in your marriage you probably would do more of if you weren't so tired.
Yes.
And your husband would like you a lot more, you know, and all that stuff. So I think it's super important for us to be able to, as women, to, you know, have priorities, be able to delegate. And then outsource. And then some stuff has to be deleted. You know, maybe it's not even yours to do at all. It's like, no, I'm going to delete that. That's not going to be done by me. You know, so those are some of the things that I've just learned in my little short years.
That's awesome. I always tell people, automate. I just told my class the other day, automate, delegate, and outsource. Mm-hmm. You don't have to do everything, and nor should you be doing everything. And it really resonated with me when I hosted my annual summit earlier this year. And one of our speakers is an expert in time management. And she had us go through this exercise, and it was like an aha moment for me. And she had us like put these little piles together, like, what is our zone of genius? And I don't think a lot of times we think about that. Like, what is my zone of genius? And how much of what I'm doing is that versus this pile over here, which is not my zone of genius, that is something I can be automating, delegating, or outsourcing to someone else. And I saw how high my pile was in the non-zone of genius. And I'm like, I have to do something about this.
Mm-hmm.
So
it zaps out your genius.
Yeah.
Like when you do a whole bunch of stuff that like is like outside of your genius, then it's like it just zaps, just zaps your energy and everything. You're like not even as effective as you could be.
Yeah. And you're wondering seriously why you're maybe lacking that drive or passion in your business anymore is because you're not focusing on your zone of genius. And I know that for me to be like at my highest level, that's what I want to be doing. But when my time and mind is occupied with these things that I really don't care about, I mean, they have to get done. And there's a lot of things I'm strong at that I can do. I don't want to do them. So if I can, like social media marketing, VA, so these are things I'm searching for. I do not have to do it all by myself, nor do I want to. I want to give it over to someone who that is their zone of genius, so that they're going to be effective in that and thrive in that, while I can be doing what I love to do, which is training and speaking and hosting events, things like that. So that's really good. Balance is important, ladies, and I'm so looking forward to your topic on that. Just the lives that you've shared already, and I can share with you was just like, wow. I was just like, I'm gonna have to go back. I save all of these videos. Okay, so let's talk about Cherita. You mentioned that you help women start up businesses, 6-figure businesses, right? In 90 days. I think that that's super fantastic. So I want to talk about money because I don't think we talk about it enough. And I'm one of the ones of the mindset, not just a mindset, but this is actually a movement of mine, is to create more women millionaires, right? More women that are 7-figure earners in their business. We are leading the move. We're leading entrepreneurship. We are not leading in revenue, and especially Black women on average, under 28,000 in annual revenues on average for Black women. That to me, that's unacceptable, right? So I think I know we need to have more of us positioned where we can be earning 6 and 7 figures in our businesses, that we're actually profiting right in our businesses, that we get access to resources that allow us to do that. So even though, like I said, we're leading in entrepreneurship, we're not leading in access to funding. That's again where it comes to creating tables for ourselves. And really, I think sometimes there are challenges with women. I don't know, maybe you can help me, maybe fear or shyness around money, or talking about money, or asking for money. And so we're running these businesses basically as volunteers. And I'm not kidding, because we're negotiating our prices down to the bottom floor to zero. We have these multi-year passion projects. It's great to have a passion project, but you can be passionate, you can have impact and still make money. So ladies, I want to talk about money. I want your perspective on it. Because I think it's important. We do so much. Why should we not be making money? If men are out here being millionaires, why can't women be millionaires? Why can't Black women be millionaires? Why can't we have thriving businesses where we're generating money in our businesses so that we can live the lives that we want, so that we can impact more lives? So let's talk about money, ladies, from your perspective. We already talked about how important it is. If you're not making money in your business, something is malfunctioning, right? So we want to get to the point that we are thriving in our businesses, that we're making the money that we want to make. So let's talk about first, are you noticing that with women, your peers, that there's some discomfort or fear, or trepidation, or shyness about money? And if you're noticing that, how do we help women to get everything that they're entitled to change their mindset around money to a wealth mindset? Cherita, we'll start with you.
Okay. So what I found is that there are a couple of different issues at play. So first you have these stories that people have been told since childhood, especially if you grew up in the church around this whole idea that, you know, whatever it is that you have to offer, it's like it's ministry and it should be free, right? And then depending on where you grew up, you might have this story around only certain people are supposed to be rich or prosperous, that's not for us. And then you have this other story around your value and your worth. You know, can you actually charge the amount that you want to charge, or should you? And sometimes I think people get distracted by the people numbers. Like, you'd rather have 100 clients at $100 than 10 clients at 5,000, you know. And it's really, that's not really what you should be focused on, the number of clients, right? You want to target, you know, the people who want what you have, who are willing to pay the price that you're offering it for, making sure, of course, that the price point makes sense, but it has to be reflective of the value that you're bringing as well. And the person who doesn't value enough to make the investment is not the person that you want anyway. So there's a couple of things at play. And I think we often skip in a lot of coaching programs that mindset piece that's tied to you being the CEO of your business. You can put together the greatest program, but if your mindset is still one of poverty, or one of, I don't deserve this, I shouldn't have this, I shouldn't charge this, your business is never going to be what you want it to be. So you always have to deal with kind of those limiting beliefs and those tapes that are playing in your head, and rewrite the script for yourself, and start talking it until you believe it. And then you can, you know, take action on these new beliefs in your business.
Hey, Tracey?
Yes, I would add, there's a scripture in Ecclesiastes that says wisdom is better when it's paired with money, especially if you get both while you're still living. Double protection, wisdom and wealth. I tell a lot of, especially female ministers, because of the nature of being in church, folks have a tendency to believe they're not supposed to be empowered financially. They begin to believe that it's not of God's will. But he said, beloved, above all things, I wish that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. So having to rethink some things. It is not holy to be walking in poverty. It's not the will of God for you never to have anything. He literally gave Solomon so much that Solomon was considered the richest man walking the land at his time. Even when Queen Sheba came to visit him, she thought one of the servants was actually the king, because of how Solomon not only positioned himself, but positioned his country. And so when you begin to change how you think and begin to see it differently, you can position other people to do the same thing. The Father will literally strategize and put you in a position of teacher, because he told Peter, when thou art converted, strengthen your brethren. So the change of mindset has to take place. You got to begin to realize that money is a tool. And if you don't have that particular tool functioning in your life, there's a whole lot that you will not be able to do, not just limited, but you will not be able to do. And you want to go beyond eating and drinking, because God said, take no thought about it. He wants to provide that. So there are other things furthering the kingdom, furthering the work that you've started. God gave you that. And to be able to do it, you have to have money as that tool, as that resource. Because what I found taking classes, you don't want to take advantage of the person that has decided to provide. The workman is worthy of his hire. So if you hire them, then you should be expecting to give them of that resource so they too can have resources.
Absolutely. That's good.
I know, like say la. Pause and think about that. I mean, that's so good. You know, of course I always go back to, and all of us are a product of our upbringings and, you know, where we came from. And so, you know, of course, for me being raised in the South, right, and just the whole ideology that, I mean, I, you know, when the whole thought was being presented to me about being rich, all I could hear was the scripture that said, you know, it's easier for a camel to go through an eye of a needle than a rich man to get into heaven. So everything in my DNA, you know what I'm saying, was like, no, we don't want to be rich, right? And so a lot of us have just, you know, have some programming, and we talked about that, some programming that just has to be undone as it relates to money. You know, I was reading this book, and I cannot think of the name of it, but he talked about, you know, we were taught that we don't take money from strangers, and we don't charge our friends. So you don't take money from strangers, and you don't charge your friends. Well, then who you charge?
Right.
Who pays? You know what I'm saying? And so when you think about like that, you have to, you know, we have to undo that particular programming. And my therapist, we were talking about money and stuff, and she was saying, you know, think about it. You know, money is an energy exchange. There's an energy exchange. Okay, I have something that you want what I have. Let's just exchange our energy. You know, I mean, because that's all we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want what I have, you know, and so that's what it boils down to. But, and then the other part about it would be that we were conditioned, and this, you know, all of us were really conditioned that sales was bad. The TV, the television gave us a vision of the used car salesman. So a lot of us don't like sales because we're like, oh, well, you know, I don't want to do that. I'd rather, and so then the network marketing, I remember when I got into network marketing, I would say, well, you're not selling, you're sharing, right? It's like, no, we share food, sweetie. No, I'm going to sell you a sandwich, okay? How about that? Okay? So, you know, so it's like, we were all these programming and conditioning that were placed on us. And so when you talk about, you know, sales, I tell my people now, listen, I have an obligation to sell you something. If I don't sell you anything, if there's no transaction, there's no transformation. There's free stuff on YouTube, and it's already out there. If you're gonna lose weight, you'd have lost weight by now, but you're not. Okay, so pay me for coaching you to help you lose weight. It's accountability. It's skin in the game. Let's go. Are you ready to pay? Are you ready to go? You know what I'm saying? So, but I didn't start there. You know. It's training, it's investing in training and investing. And I've bought like tons of sales trainings and stuff to help me, you know, overcome, you know, and to learn, because usually we're afraid of something because we don't know how to do it. So if you don't know how to do sales, then of course you're going to be afraid because you don't know what to do. You don't know what to say. So you hire someone that has done sales and done it very well, and you buy their course, their program, you hire them, and they can teach you what they've done. But then there's another thing. A lot of us don't want to invest. so now, you know, it's like, could it be that the reason why your sales numbers are down is because you're not a buyer?
Right.
You're not a buyer. And so one of my coaches that I hired, that I paid about $6,000, and here's the best lesson he taught me. He said, I charge you that much because now you can go and charge that much, because the people who can't buy can't charge.
That's good.
I love it.
Who can't buy can't charge. So if you can't buy coaching at $10,000, don't try to sell it. You're a violation. You're in violation. If you don't buy $1,000 programs, don't sell $1,000 programs. You don't buy them. It's the law. Can't break the laws. The laws are here.
That's right.
Audience, I hope you caught that. That is so good. Like, I don't know how you're in business and you're not willing to invest in yourself. I don't know any business owner. I don't know any successful person that didn't invest in themselves or in a position where you're trying to, you want people to buy from you, right? You want people to buy from you at what you're asking for, but you're unwilling to pay an expert for what you need. That makes no sense. Right?
If you can't spend $24 on your business, then don't even host a summit. That's why Facebook Live has 0 people, because you're not even invested in this, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be able to find ways to release money. You know what I'm saying? Like find ways to get. I always talk about this. Money is currency, and the root word of that is a current. A current is moving. You know what I'm saying? So if you are not in the current, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like you're not buying and selling. You're not in our system. You're not in our system. Okay, so you're not in the system. So I would find stuff. I would find organizations to go and just make a donation. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm just gonna donate. I got to get in the currency today. I got to get in the flow. I got to get in the movement of money where it's moving. I want to be a part of it. So I'd go buy it. Yeah, definitely go give me a ticket to the Success Summit. Because then guess what? When you have your summit, then people will go and buy with your summit.
Absolutely.
The law of reciprocity. Whatsoever soweth, that shall he also reap.
That's right.
Okay, we preaching today. Okay. So
you got some preaching out here. You didn't know it, but
I love it because we're talking about things that we need to hear. These are things that are going to help you get to the next level. These are things that are going to help you explode your business. That is why we are here. So if you don't know, I thank you. I see you all out there tuning in. We are here because we are hosting the 2019 Success Summit, a virtual summit, right? $24 gets you access to 25 phenomenal, dynamic, international speakers, experts in their industry. So no matter where you are in your business, what challenges that you have in your business, you can explode your business to right now in 2019. There is no reason to wait to 2020. No need for any New Year's resolutions, which are fake promises that you're going to make to yourself. Commit to action, right? And get your tickets. If you know another Black woman who wants to be an entrepreneur, who is an entrepreneur, tag them in this broadcast, share this with them, invite them to get their tickets and meet us October 21st through the 24th. You anywhere in the world, you can be a part of this. Any schedule, any time zone, you do not need to leave your house. We are making it available and convenient, easy for you to get access to what you need to be successful. Okay? So you can get your tickets and we will leave them in the comments. Go to bit.ly/BWP Success Summit 19. Again, that's bit.ly/BWP Success Summit 19. I just want to thank all of the ladies who provided their time, dropped great nuggets, great gems for all of you all today. I just want them very quickly to go through. Just tell us what you have going on and where people can find you. Keysha.
Awesome. You can find me, KeyshaBass.com. Ask KeyshaBass.com. First, Shantae, happy birthday, Dr. Cherita. Today is actually her birthday.
Happy birthday.
Sorry. I saw that. And you can definitely, if you go into Google and you type in Keysha Bass, I own my name on everything. Okay. Definitely on YouTube. I'm uploading videos daily over on YouTube, Facebook. I have a Facebook group, YouTube for Profits. So if you want to learn how to leverage videos to automate your influence, automate your income, and 3x your influence, definitely join us in there. But thanks so much for having me.
Thank you. Tracey?
You can find me at www.traceythecoach.com. You can find me on the different platforms as author Tracey K. George. You can find me locally right here in South Carolina. This weekend we'll be in Bennettsville sharing the word as we do. And we thank you, Shantae, Itika, Tracey, for this powerful summit. and giving us an opportunity to share together and grow together. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Birthday girl.
Yes, 47 years today. So excited. What I want to do is share, because I have birthday gifts. You know, it's my birthday. I have birthday gifts. What I am offering over the next 47 days, I am celebrating and sharing a gift each week. And the gift this week is a 47-minute laser coaching session for $47. And I'm telling you, I will never offer this again. So if you want to talk with someone about your business idea as it relates to being a coach, consultant, speaker, author, or if you're interested in writing or publishing a book, those are my areas of expertise. I will be glad to talk with you through your ideas, help you strategize and put some things together so you can launch and grow your business. And you can schedule that at bit.ly/47-minute laser coaching. And I will add that in the comments to the video. Other than that, you can catch me on Facebook at Coach Cherita. And my website is CheritaWeatherspoon.com. I will put that in the comments because you will not spell it correctly, I'm sure. So I will add that in the comments as well. You can always message me through Facebook, and I do respond. But I am so grateful to you, Shantae, for this opportunity, and also to Black Women Promote for the opportunity to share and impact the lives of 25,000 women.
That is fantastic. Again, thank you, ladies. They will be leaving their contact information in the comments. So please connect with them, connect with us, like our page, right? Share us out. Let people know if you enjoyed today's broadcast. You want other people to know about it. You want other women to know about all of the great information that you received today that is going to help you in your business. Thank you, audience, for tuning in today. You can meet us here the same time next week, Thursday at 1 p.m. We will see you then when we will bring on another story, another entrepreneur sharing their journey so that it inspires you and empowers you to pursue your dreams, right? So in the meantime, continue to pursue your passions and your dream, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.